Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. To my esteemed guests that I have personally invited here tonight as well, thank you for honoring me with your presence. God bless you. And everyone who has put this occasion together to celebrate African voices like yourself and me. I dedicate this song to you because literally nobody knows tomorrow. But tomorrow is a product of what you do today. And I have my able friend here with the keyboard, and I will give you a rendition of this Grammy-nominated song titled
CNN is really all about storytelling. In addition to breaking news, we tell rich, vibrant stories from around the world, including and especially Africa. Our feature shows are especially important as we cover culture, sport, travel, entertainment, business, technology, and much more. And African Voices really highlights this. It's a show about the continent's thought leaders, creatives, athletes, entertainers, those who are at the forefront of change across Africa. In the last 15 years, we've met the people who are finding the ways to impact communities, making cultural commitments, and solving problems. The program has been strong, a very strong voice for the continent, and importantly, CNN has been taking those stories to the rest of the world. The show has also featured many well-known voices as well as rising stars who have gone on to great things. A few years ago, for example, we featured a young Kenyan, unfortunately not a Nigerian, journalist on the show. His name is Larry Maduo. You will see him later on this evening, and that's an example of how the show has progressed. Now, 15 years for a show like this is a huge landmark. Not many shows have been able to celebrate this milestone. It really would not have been possible without our significant partnership with Globacom, one of Africa's and Nigeria's leading telecommunications companies. We're very proud to work with such a committed sponsor that shares our passion about showcasing Africa and its stories. As we all know, the global media business is really changing and evolving, and trusted news is more important now than ever. So having strong partners like Globacom enables CNN to do our job independently. It provides us with the resources to cover stories wherever they take place, whenever they take place, allows us to go places where other organizations cannot go, to hold power to account, and to give people everywhere the facts and analysis they need to make up their minds on important issues. I'm pleased tonight that we're joined by Globacom's Executive Vice Chairman, Ellen Disu. Thank you very much. Your collaboration and support on this project has been invaluable to CNN, and we hope to continue this work for many more years. I'd also like to thank our representatives here in Nigeria, OJ&T, headed by Ms. Awalabi. Lola, I almost got that right. Excuse me. They are CNN's team extension here in Nigeria and have been very key in helping us develop relationships and partnerships on the ground for decades. We appreciate you. I'd also like to acknowledge the countless individuals that contributed to the show's success, the dedicated writers, producers, researchers, editors, photojournalists who have traveled far and wide to capture the essence of each story. Their hard work and passion has made this show what it is today. And I'm very happy that tonight we have some of that production talent here with us. You'll hear later on from my colleague Jenny Watts on this. So here's to an incredible 15 years of storytelling and to many more years to come as we continue to share the brilliance of Africa's stories with the rest of the world on a global stage in a way that only CNN can do. Thank you all very much, and now I would like to welcome to the stage Mr. Ashok Israni, Chief Marketing Director from Globacom.
Phil said an incredible 15 years. So I'll start my speech by thanking everybody for being present here. The Executive Vice Chairman, Mrs. Ella Disu, here present. Mr. Phil Nelson, the Executive Vice President of CNN, our distinguished guests, and members of the press. I would first like to extend kind regards of our Chairman, Dr. Mike Adenuga Jr., the Board and Management of Globacom, to our CNN partners and all the guests here this evening. I'm profoundly honored to stand here before you to mark an extraordinary milestone, 15 years of an inspiring partnership between Globacom and CNN Africa's Voices program. Today's event does not only provide an opportunity to celebrate a successful collaboration, but also to reflect on the enduring impact this partnership had in connecting the world to stories, talents, and innovations emerging from the African continent. Well, 15 years ago, when we first joined forces with CNN to sponsor the program, we embarked on a journey to spotlight the diversity and resilience that define Africa. At the time, we knew we were entering into something very special. Though we could not have fully envisaged the depth of influence and significance this program would come to hold, not only in Africa, but globally. Today, we are here and we look back to these 15 years and we celebrate not only the partnership itself, but the lives we have touched, the stories we have shared, the change we have collectively fostered through the power of media and through this relationship. At Globacom, we have always been driven by the belief that connectivity is not merely about technology. It's about bringing people together, bridging divides and fostering greater understanding. Our mission has been to empower individuals through access to communication, and African Voices has been a perfect partner of that vision. Through the program, we have witnessed the powerful ways in which Africa is shaping the future of technology, art, business, culture, and other areas. We look forward to the future with renewed excitement and commitment as we continuously work towards investing in new technologies, new equipment, and committing millions of dollars to network expansion and upgrade to enhance the experience that we provide to our customers. We will continue to champion ways to empower not only our individual customers, but also businesses, institutions, governments, and all those who do business with us. In my closing remarks, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to CNN for their unwavering commitment to excellence and for being such a remarkable partner in this journey. And to thank our valued viewers, customers, and partners for the support they have extended to us. Thank you so much.
My name is Jenny Watts, and I am the executive producer of African Voices on CNN International. It is an absolute pleasure to be representing the global production team that lovingly creates each episode of African Voices. Our team across the continent and across the world work incredibly hard to find the people we feature on the show and to share their stories with CNN's global audience. I was just a features producer when African Voices first started, but I remember over the last 15 years, I have watched it grow into the multi-platform powerhouse that it is today. And that is all thanks to the tireless work of those you will never see on camera. People like Earl, Lamide, Vanessa, Frida, Lucky, my team Lagos, and dozens more. Together, they form a community committed to making African Voices bigger and better every episode. I was here in Lagos 5 years ago to celebrate the 10th anniversary, and it's an absolute honor to be back for the 15th. In the last 5 years, you'll have seen the show evolve to focus on change makers, profiling the outstanding work they do for others. We've also added playmakers, celebrating the African sporting world, and our popular My Drive social videos, which have crossed over to TV. In 2023, we welcomed a new voice, someone you will see on camera, who works just as hard and cares just as deeply about the series as the rest of us, Mr. Larry Madowo. Larry's energy and expertise and his passion for telling African stories to the world have helped African Voices continue growing and reaching new audiences. His millions of social media followers have also helped that, me included. One of our other new additions is a dedicated African Voices Changemakers playlist on Apple Music. This is updated regularly with music from the stars interviewed on the show. And that's the music you heard earlier that was playing when you walked in. You can listen to it later, just search CNN ABC. You are about to be a part of something we've never done before. This is a special live taping to help us celebrate this milestone 15-year anniversary. And we even have some previous African Voices guests in the audience tonight to help us mark this occasion. Tonight, Larry will be speaking to Nigerian singer, songwriter, and recent Grammy nominee, Yemi Alade.
African Voices is now in its 15th year on CNN, and we're celebrating by doing something we've never done before, this live taping, but also doing something we're known for, which is bringing you change-making stories from Africa's best characters. Our guest for this special show definitely falls into that category. She's a multi-award-winning singer, songwriter, and performer who's not only one of Nigeria's most beloved artists, but also a global ambassador for African culture. She's much beloved across Africa and around the world. I'm talking about Miss Mama Africa herself. Y'all, give it up for Yemi Alade.
I'm good, thank you.
You look wonderful.
Beautiful in yellow.
As always.
Thank you.
And it's great to be in your city. How are you doing?
I'm feeling very good. It's good to be back in my country. The weather is amazing. It's cold everywhere else. And
It is not cold here.
It's not cold here. It's really hot. How are you as well?
I'm great. I haven't seen you. I've actually met you. We've interviewed you twice before. Back when the broadcast in Kenya. It's great to be doing here.
Yes.
This right now. I gotta say, first of all, congratulations on your Grammy nomination.
Thank you.
How does that feel?
It feels surreal. It feels like it feels like a miracle to me. Like a miracle has happened in my life, and it's a good time to be alive.
You were nominated for the song Tomorrow, solo nomination, which is obviously the best.
Yes.
How did you and your team feel? How did you celebrate to be recognized after more than a decade of making music?
Ooh la la. I mean, I almost thought this moment might never come, but I was patient with it. I've been nominated one time for Beyonce's album, and one time with Angelique Kidjo, and another time with a Latin musician. But this time around, it was for my own song. It was my own crown for me. There was no feature on it. It felt... I felt seen because it also gave me reassurance that anybody out there can become anything. You just have to believe and not stop. Even if the world wants you to stop, don't stop because it's your dream. Only you can see it. So I just thank God for always seeing me through.
That's wonderful. Anybody who has seen your work knows that you're very much a traveling artist. We had to confirm this months ago because she's not always here. So how much time do you actually spend here in Lagos?
Why do you want to rat me?
I beg, just say it now. We're not
What
friends.
makes Nigerians feel like I don't stay in my country? Why are you doing this?
You're busy. You look busy.
Okay. The beautiful thing about Nigerians is that when we're good at something, we are demanded all around the world.
Right.
And I'm one of the fortunate few to have a career that allows me to travel the world and meet a huge percentage of my fans around the world. To come back to your question,
Yes.
I think I spent a good maybe 3 months in total in Nigeria. If you put all the past 3 days, 4 days combined together, maybe a good 3 months I spent in Nigeria. Every other time I'm in another country, I spend barely 3 days in a new country. And honestly, I never get used to it, but it's something I prayed for. So I'm living the dream, and I'm thankful.
This is the moment you prayed for. It's That's amazing. Because you're spending 9 months on the road, which is insane.
Insane for over 6 years.
Wow. You just did a big show at the Zenith in Paris, one of the largest venues in Paris. Tell us how that went.
I mean, the Zenith venue is one of the most prestigious venues in Paris. I had a love story with Paris because that was one of the first cities I traveled to outside Africa when my career started taking off. I started off with the Le Trianon, which is like a smaller venue, and then I moved on to Olympia and now the Zenith. So like this increases in capacity. I mean, we just felt like we just wanted to renew our love for Paris, and I'm thankful that that happened. It really opened my eyes to a lot of things, you know, both good and bad, but it was such a great experience. If you don't try it, you never know.
That's true. It feels like you have a bit of a love affair with France. Is it one of your favorite places to perform outside Africa? You've made French songs, you speak French.
Yes. Yes, I'm thankful that I was able to learn some French in secondary school in Nigeria, actually.
Right.
And that really helped me to, that really helped me to fall in love with the language even more. But I would say that because Paris is one of the cities that opened their borders to my music, literally, before I even flew in, I fell in love with French even more. I had a reason to speak French. I wanted to communicate. I wanted to tell someone I was hungry, I was tired, I needed food. No, and then I started learning the language way better. And now I sing in French as well.
Tell me about this. Apart from obviously all the travel and all that, your heritage is interesting. You have an Igbo mother
Yes.
and the Yoruba father.
Correct.
For our non-Nigerian audience, tell us why that's interesting.
Ooh la la. I mean, many years ago, intertribal relationships and marriages were kind of frowned on. And my mom and dad said we will show them. So they decided to get married, and they had me. I'm the first child from my mom, and I have 2 younger brothers. The spicy thing about their relationship is that their relationship is the reason why I am so in love with the African culture, because I grew up in a family where I would enjoy the cultures of the Yorubas and then the culture of the Igbos, from the food to the language, the way of life. And so when I travel the world, especially in Africa, and I see the different cultures, I easily accept it, appreciate it, love it. And every country I go to, there's something culturally appeasing. And my love for Africa just genuinely grows. I do not do this because, I do not do this with an agenda. I do this genuinely because Africa is beautiful. And to love Africa, you need to travel and know Africa.
That's true. I've seen you perform in Cote d'Ivoire, in Nairobi. People love you there.
You know Nairobi is one of the cities.
Oh, you're
Why
on
did you
stage?
ask me about Nairobi?
That's my city. I know it's one of Africa's greatest cities. You love it out there. You did a song in Swahili.
Yes.
What do you think being able to speak people's language, how has that transported your music beyond the borders of Nigeria?
That's a good question. When I first did the French version of Johnny,
Right.
I was bored. I was bored and I wanted to do something interesting. And also I was inspired by the fact that when I traveled to different African countries, people that didn't understand the Nigerian language and the lingua were singing my songs word for word. And so I sat down and said, how do I show these people that I really appreciate them even more than words can tell? And that's when I decided to make versions of my songs in French, Swahili, and Portuguese. And that's how the love story with languages started off.
You've covered all the major languages spoken in Africa.
Pretty much. I'm still learning them completely. Like, I really want to learn Swahili. I just know some little sawa, you know, nakupenda. Of course, I have to learn I love you.
Of course she knows I love you, nakupenda in Swahili.
And everybody knows Hakuna Matata.
Okay, Hakuna Matata, stay with me. We're gonna do more. We're gonna take a pause right now for a break, and when we come back, we're gonna get more into the music. Yemi tapes live here in Lagos, Nigeria. Yemi, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling very good, thank you.
You mentioned this when we were talking before. Johnny was your first major hit. It blew up internationally, now has more than 160 million
Correct.
views on YouTube.
Correct.
But the genre is actually high life, which is traditionally Ghanaian, right? But you dipped into it and it blew up. Tell us about the process of making the song.
I mean, said, first of all, that High Life was originally Ghanaian. We have to talk about that.
Oh, I opened Pandora's box. Okay.
I mean, I grew up in a time in Nigeria when High Life was definitely a big deal. And as far as I know, Nigeria, Ghana, etc., we have already been pre-connected via music and everything. So I feel like it originated with here in Nigeria and Ghana. The question is how is it that that genre became global?
Right.
I do not know. I have no idea. I was just a young girl trying to sing a song about a cheating lover, and somehow people are dancing to it.
They related to it.
Because they related to it, exactly. And I'm truly grateful for that song because it's definitely one of the pillars of my career.
Do you ever know when something's going to be a big hit? When you make it, you're like, oh no, this is going to be a jam. This is going to take over TikTok.
I do not know. If I knew then, I would be selling the cheat code. But one thing about me when I make music, I make sure that I connect with it. It has to mean something to me, and most especially mean something to someone out there. And that's my job, to make the music, and whatever happens, let it ripple effects.
Let's talk about collabs, because that's another key aspect of the trade, right? And you made big collaborations, Sauti Sol from Kenya, Angelique Kidjo from Benin, Spice from Jamaica, Enos B from Congo, Rick Ross, all over the place.
Yes.
What determines who you collaborate with? Was it always a goal to try and mishmash these different influences?
I think it's a bit of two things. As I travel the world, any city that I go to, if I happen to find someone that I love their craft or someone I'm a fan of, I try to make music with them while I'm there. And then also somehow the universe has a way of sending people your way. For instance, my song with Ziggy Marley, he had sent a song to my team because he wanted me to be on his album. And the minute he did that, I was like, Ziggy, okay, I'll send you my own too. So that's how, you keep the train of musical love going. That's what I've been doing.
I'm not going to ask you which one was your favorite, but which one was the hardest to pull off of all the collaborations?
I have to think.
Okay.
The hardest collaboration.
Yes.
Hardest.
Yes.
What makes a collaboration hard? If it's hard, then it shouldn't happen.
Okay.
But, okay, wait.
While you were thinking of that, okay.
I think I know the one.
Yes.
My song with Angelique Kidjo.
Right.
It wasn't the hardest, but it took the longest of time because I had to get to know her.
Right.
I wanted to get to know her.
I love her. She's fabulous.
Exactly.
An
And
icon.
I was okay with peeling the onion layer by layer. I started talking to her via email, through her brother, and eventually to her via email, and then eventually on WhatsApp before I saw her here in Lagos. And that took a number of 3 years before we actually got into the studio.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
That was the process.
And now she's like my musical mother.
She's our musical mother, all of us. I mean, I've never met her. I'm just a fan.
Really?
I've never met her.
When you meet her, you will not forget her.
I'm sure I will. I look forward to it.
100%.
You contributed to The Gift, Beyonce's album.
100%.
Is it true that you lost your voice while that was happening?
Ah, la la la.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is very correct. I had landed in Los Angeles to, because I was invited to record on the album. And the minute I landed, we went to the studio just to get acquainted with the team. And we were scheduled to start the recording sessions the next day. I went to bed, I woke up and I couldn't speak. I couldn't talk.
Oh, wow.
I opened my mouth and all I hear is efforts. I hear efforts for no,
No output.
it was like a nightmare. I wanted to go back to sleep and wake up and maybe the voice would reappear. No. And so thankfully I just decided to wrap myself up because I have a thing of believing that what will be will be.
Right.
I mean, if I'm not meant to be on this album, peace. But I decided to still fight for that moment. So I did the little rituals that I normally do to keep my voice going, which is the vitamin C's, the hot teas, the gingers, and stay warm. And I just stopped talking. So I was communicating via little notes.
Right.
And exactly. And eventually I had a little bit of my voice come back, just open up a little bit. And I used what I had. And I was featured on 2 songs on her album.
I would freak out. But congratulations. would lose my mind if I am about to contribute to a Beyonce album and then I've lost my voice.
Look, in Nigeria, they say that your village people, they have done something.
Your village
And
people.
Look, they were working hard. I tell you, but that is good.
God works harder than your village people.
That's why.
I love that. Listen, let's go through your albums. I want to go through your albums because we're trying to get at something here.
Go ahead.
This is your stellar music career, and of course, we have to start. Okay, hang on. I have to play this first because this, we talked about it a little bit. You will recognize this. This is King of Queens, one of your albums.
Yes.
Then, Woman of Steel,
Correct.
Empress, and your latest is Rebel Queen.
Correct.
They're all giving woman empowerment and almost kind of a regal vibe. Why have you been so intentional about that?
Because I believe that I am who I am, and I want everything that I create to be truly of my essence. And I feel like royalty isn't just about being blue-blooded. I feel like royalty is a state of mind. You could walk into this auditorium here with torn clothes, but you speak with the eloquence and the mindset of a king and queen, and that is what would make you stand out. And
Did you always know that, or did you come into it as you grew in your career?
I continue to grow into it because I needed to be my own superwoman. As an African and as a woman, you find that you need to, for you to find your way in life, you need to decide who you want to be, and that's what I did for myself when I decided to go into the musical industry. We all know, if you know, that the music industry is not very easy terrain. You're literally venturing into this industry where you don't know anybody. And as a young girl, I didn't have any godmother or godfather, literally a nobody. And for me to do this, I walked up to my mirror and I said, you are nobody, but you will be somebody. And I kept telling myself that every day. And eventually, I think that spirit became what you see here today.
That is wonderful. You have been an independent artist your entire career.
Ooh la la, that is the miracle. That is the miracle.
I'm sure major labels have made offers to you, but you've chosen to remain independent and work with the same team this whole time. Why is that?
I mean, I'm not proud of it. Don't get me wrong. First of all, even the nomination, the Grammy nomination, I'm the only indie artist that's been nominated. This is one of those things that people say is impossible, but God has made it possible. Now, when you say that other labels have, made offers and we haven't accepted, it's not because they're not good enough, no. But there's certain relationships, business relationships, that must be crucial to your goal. I mean, if your goals for me are not in alignment with the goals that I've set for myself for over 10 years, then we should not be in the same boat. And so far, we are still waiting, and as we're waiting and walking forward for the right people to join the line. We want people to join the line, we don't want people to dissuade us or derail us.
Right.
And if you have a team of 2 people, trust me, that's all you need. Don't let people pressure you into expanding. You expand, you need to be ready for that. And so far, as long as my team has been expanding, the Fizzy Music has been expanding, but eventually the best international partner will come and you will hear about it.
I feel like this is a masterclass in succeeding in the industry, which is not easy as you say it. Stay with me, we have more coming up. Okay, time for another break. And when we come back, we're going to get into what truly makes Yanela Day a change maker. Okay, we talked about how you became a change maker while we are having you on the show. So in 2020, you became a Google Ambassador for the United Nations Development Program. How did that come about?
2020 was a very special year.
We almost died. There was a small panini over there, as I call it. As a population, we almost didn't make it.
100%. 100%.
I love that we can laugh about it now.
Look, I'm laughing. Thank God for that. 2020 was a very special year. And to get the news that I was going to be one of the newest UNDP ambassadors for the United Nations, it was really an eye-opener for me because I was grateful, and I am still grateful for the opportunity to be able to lend my voice to a lot of causes that I ordinarily would not be able to have heard of, if not through the platform. It was just I feel like it was another chip on my shoulder in a good way, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to be ambassador.
Are there things you've done in that role that you're especially proud of, or what you hope to achieve with this extra platform?
100%. I mean, when I went to the headquarters in New York, just being there as an African woman, my presence there, the significance of my presence, it goes a long way, because that means that every little girl in their homes, at home on the street, just seeing me there makes them believe that their dreams are valid. I mean, because I like to keep my ear to the ground, to see my communities in my country, to know their needs and wants. As much as I travel a lot, I like to stay abreast of issues in the country. And whenever and wherever I'm called upon to lend my voice, I willingly do that, with the information that I've gotten firsthand.
You could be just a musician and be about the good times, but why do you also get involved? You keep abreast, you add your voice to important subjects. Why is it that you're going beyond just the music? Why do you care?
No, I believe that even though my music is a huge part of my life, I'm more than just my music. I feel like there's other ways I can impact people's lives other than just the melodies that I make. Because when I look around me, I have a family, and I also have, a generation that will come after me. I'd like to leave this earth better than I found it. And the only way for me to do such a thing is to lend my voice. Because silence is acceptance. Silence is a big yes. And I would like to say no to any injustice that I happen to encounter.
Yes. I feel like you made a bunch of people in the audience. Every time you pause, they clap.
Don't make them stop. Don't make them stop.
Beautiful audience.
Right.
You sing about uniting Africa in peace and love. You song with the Ziggy Marley.
Yes.
One of my pet peeves, don't even get me started, is
Okay.
the shege you receive traveling on the continent and needing a visa as an African.
Hey.
Do you think there's a day that will come when you can travel on the continent from whatever part and not need a visa?
That day has to come. Do you understand?
Preach.
The day has to come. Whether it will be in my time or not in my time, the day has to come, because our eyes need to open. Like, why would I pay $50 so that I can go to Kenya?
Right.
And I'm an African. Why? It makes no sense. When you get a Schengen visa, you go from country to country, from France to Germany seamlessly. And honestly, if I were French, I would very easily go to Germany if I wanted to. I mean, that is a perfect example of what Africa should be. And the beautiful part about the no visa for Africans within Africa is that it would definitely encourage better commerce.
Right.
We would easily make a lot of businesses together, and then eventually maybe the flight fares might, drop. Because the same price I will pay to travel to Kenya is the same price of flight ticket I will pay to go to London. Why? You know what I mean?
It makes none of the sense.
It's not really making a lot of sense, but I believe that the day will come. It has to come soon. We need it.
I hope it happens in our lifetime.
I agree. You guys agree too, right?
They also how much travel in Africa shows that Pepe, so I think we're all united in the need for that borderless African.
Look, there's some countries that you probably, even as an African, might not be able to gain access to unless maybe your top government official has written an admittance letter for you. I mean, it's absurd.
Whenever you take on social issues or controversial subjects, do you ever fear that there could be backlash, that your fans will, turn against you?
I'm very careful with, social political views, my personal social political views. I'm very careful with them because I do not, as much as I want to lend my voice, I do not want to control people. It's not my duty to control or try to, what's the word? Yeah, you know what I mean. And so I'm just very careful. I do care that I might get a backlash, but if genuinely I feel turned in my spirit, I will say what I need to say.
backlash or no backlash, if you were to say it, you would say it.
But I would definitely get some research done. I do not like just talking without facts, because I don't like people, I wouldn't like if anyone spoke, shared information about me without actually doing research. So when it comes to every other topic, I try to make sure that some research has been done to that effect.
Okay, related to that, you said that your album, Woman of Steel in 2019, was partly in reaction to the social media hate you were receiving at the time. What was that like and how did you deal with it?
I mean, it just came from nowhere. I didn't understand what was happening with it's on Twitter.
Yes.
Twitter became very toxic for me in that year. I didn't understand why. I couldn't pinpoint any reason whatsoever. And then I had to make a decision for myself if I was going to let this sort of social media hate drown me, or if I was going to rise above it. And that is why, if you see the cover of Woman of Steel, it looks like I'm wearing an armor. Because I finally decided to wear an alligator skin. I was like, do what you have to do, but I'm here, and that has really brought me to where I am right now.
Alligator skin is a perfect way to describe it, because if you're in the public eye, if you're famous, and you're not just famous in Nigeria, you're famous globally, do you have to develop that to protect yourself against all these people you don't know that have opinions about your life?
You must develop that, and apart from that, you must have a team that believes in you and is there for you. I omitted this part out, but even in 2019 when that was happening, my manager, Mr. Taya Lee, he asked me, he said, so now you are not feeling happy, Abi? And you say you want to be a superstar. So, don't you know that? But easily lays the head that wears the crown. So when the hatred is increasing, that means they are doing something good. Continue. That's what he said. And then I just stopped because he was literally saying, crocodile tears, wipe them off, and get up and do what you need to do if you really want to be in this game for long. So I had to ask myself, do I want to stay in this game as a top player? And when the answer returned, I said yes in my head. I won my armor one time.
Okay, so get on with it.
Get on with it.
One stuff.
If it's too hot in the kitchen, you step out. But I'm in the kitchen, I'm grilling.
This food is not ready yet.
It's not ready. It's not ready.
You talk about fake friends, which I wonder, do you still know when somebody is close to you, if they're genuine or they're there because of what access to you can give them?
Honestly,
how do you know who your real friends?
It will take a lifetime to discover it. Because these days, everybody is a good actor or actress. But there is something about time. Time always tells. You cannot pretend, people cannot pretend for so long. They will try, but you will see. The question is, are you blinded by your love for this person or by your affection for the person? But if you watch very closely, over time I have stuck to the mantra, actions over words. You can tell me, oh, you love me, you love my this, my that, my da-da-da-da, but I'm just looking at you. I see you. I don't hear you, but I see you. That's it.
Okay, there's a certain wisdom that comes from just being around enough. You learn.
You learn.
You discard.
Yes. Well, I don't discard people.
So that was a trap that she didn't.
That was a trap! Discard people! No, I do not discard people. I think people finally just fall into their place.
Okay, and some just fall outside the inner circle.
I mean, they fell. That wasn't me. I didn't push nobody. I'm just, look at me, seated nicely here.
Minding your business.
Minding my business. If you fall, oops, sorry.
Okay, hold on. We're going to be right back. We're going to take another break. Let's stick around to find out what Marvel character Yemi Alade almost named herself after.
Uh-oh.
Yemi comes from your real name, Yemi. But if you had not gone for that as a stage name, what were you going to call yourself?
Doesn't matter now.
I mean, we're here now, so these people want to hear. It's not me. They told me to ask you. They said, did you guys send me? Yes. Oh, I forgot. But they sent me.
Okay. So at some point, I was going to be called Electra.
Oh.
Yeah, because I'm electrifying. And also at a way younger age, I was going to be called Ginger because, I have the ginger in me. But someone told me, I feel like if you went by that name, Ginger or Electra, people would always see you coming.
Right.
Like, they would see, and normally I'm like cool and calm and collected, and I'm on stage, I'm like, so I stuck with my name because I believe in Yoruba land, they say that the names you're given come with blessings.
Right.
And so I stuck to my birth name. And so far the blessings have continued to flow.
So, you used to be in a group called Naughty Spices.
Oh no!
In my research, so what spice are you?
Ginger! Ginger! That's what I'm trying to say, yes. There was chili spice, ginger spice, was nutmeg and garlic. And I was ginger spice, a 13-year-old girl called Ginger.
Have you been singing since you were barely a teenager?
You know, like we normally say in Africa, since I was in my mother's belly, I was singing. Yes. I was hitting notes.
Okay, but when did you realize I could make a career out of this music thing?
I think that happened in 2010.
Right.
2010. I was in university and there was a nationwide strike. I had nothing to do, and so a friend of mine who believed in my ability decided that I should go for, she encouraged me to go for a talent show. I didn't want to go, so she filled the form and said, you must go. So I was bored, I took myself there. I emerged winner. And that's when I realized that this singing that I'm always singing in church and everywhere, I can actually make something out of it. The Igbo part of me just I'm grateful that the music chose me.
It's going well.
100%.
It's going
I
very
thank
well.
God. I thank God.
Okay, we have some audience questions. We asked them to submit questions, and I want to read one of them. This is from Razak Asaju.
Okay.
It says, we acknowledge your talent and impact in the entertainment industry in Africa. What are the projects you're doing as social responsibility activities in Nigeria?
If you watch, thank you for the question. If you watch my career and how I carry myself, you realize that I'm very passionate about my fellow women because I feel like we need all the help we can get. Throughout history, we have been disadvantaged in a way, you know, from shelf to shelf, and we're trying to get off the shelf. And the things that my foundation has done recently is empowering entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs, and also sending kids to school because I feel like education is power. My mom knew that a long time ago, and she sent me to the best schools that she could, and that has helped me to be able to communicate and be the woman that I am today.
That's wonderful. One more question, this is from Bukola. Do you have plans to have a mega concert or tour in Nigeria? If so, when?
Look, I want to, and someone had asked me the same question not too long ago, I think even this month or so. And I would love to. Maybe I would start with like a mini tour because some of the roads are not really the best things, and that is really a disadvantage. I mean, I've been touring Europe, touring America, and the question is, when will you tour Nigeria?
Exactly.
That is a very valid question. So I'm hoping soon, next year, let's make it happen. Yeah.
Next year. There's commitment to that. Finally, what's in your future? What are you still hoping to accomplish with your career?
What's in my future? I don't know. Because I can't see it. But, what am I hoping to achieve? Honestly, I just want God to continue to use me as an instrument. I just really want that because my entire life is a miracle. And I just want to continue to be a miracle. I want people to look at me and say, if God can do this for this girl, he can do it for me. And that is what I want.
Your life is an inspiration, your career is inspiring, and thank you for being out here today. This is the first time we've done a live show. You were excellent.
Thank God, it's all right.
Asante sana.
Thank you so much.
Listen, we're gonna let Yemi close us out with a song, but I want to thank everyone who worked on putting together this show, and of course, thanks to the wonderful audience. Give it up for yourself. first 15 were amazing. I can't imagine what the next 15 will be. Yemi, take us home. Okay. Big round of applause for Yemi.